Hi, I'm Suzanne, this is Harry.
And I'm Steve.
Welcome to the Oak House.
Doing anything other than having the oak on show would be criminal in my mind.
Curtain fabric is made out of 100% recycled bottles.
So it's evolved in as much as we've created another room within the room.
In today's episode, we're back here at Steve and Susanne Clark's home. We were here 12 months ago when they were in the build process. We're now here looking at the final project, having a walk around with them, talking about their experience, and finalising with their top tips for self-builders. Hi Suzanne, hi Steve.
Hi Charlie.
Great to see you. Wow, look at this. Last time we were here about 12 months ago, it was just a shell.
Yeah, we've been busy.
You have. How long have you been in now?
Must be coming up to 5 months.
5 months, pretty much.
Yeah.
Gosh, you've pushed on. It looks amazing.
Would you like to come inside and have a look?
Oh, I'd love to.
Okay.
What an amazing space. How have you found the whole process since we were last here?
Oh, we've loved it. It's been brilliant building, hasn't it?
Yeah, but fair to say, I think we both knock it down, do it all over again, although it's not a good thing to do, we get that. But we've enjoyed it an awful lot. Yeah. And I know when Tim was with us the last time, we were kind of just getting going. I think the final stages have been even more fun.
Yeah, it's been great. Loved it.
Starting to turn it into a real home rather than a building site. Yeah, so one of the things for us definitely that helped was working with Dave Tonks, who delivered the whole turnkey solution that held a hand through the whole process.
We did the podcast with Dave about the turnkey, which was brilliant. Our viewers can find on Spotify. Here we are in the kitchen, a fantastic space. Talk me through it.
It's probably one of our favourite spaces, I think, in the whole house. You know, from when we spoke to Tim before, we were a little concerned about the downsize, or right size as we called it. But by having the open plan space, this is probably the hub of the house for us, where we spend a lot of our time, including you now as nanny daycare with the grandchildren.
So yeah, we've got 5 grown-up children, all with partners. We've also got 5 grandchildren, and we always felt that we spend most of our time when we get together around the kitchen, and particularly around the island. So we kind of designed it around that.
We really thought through the whole space and how it would work, so no one's left out. If we're cooking, we're entertaining, and we're sitting after dinner or going out to the veranda, this whole area probably gets the greatest use out of anything, I would say.
Because we spoke to Mark, who's your son, and made the kitchen for you, and he went into a lot of detail about a lot of the thought process behind where you put everything, which is really interesting, which is another podcast that you can explore. What are your favourite features in this?
So obviously this hob is fabulous. We've got half and half here. So this is like a tapan plate. So Steve can kind of barbecue indoors, if you like.
Oh, the larder steals the show.
Yeah.
Again, with the downsize, we had a big larder next door, but Mark has managed to create a space within a space within a space. So this just keeps opening up to give you really easy access to everything. Probably the favourite thing of all is when people give it the kind of the wow factor in the kitchen, and so who made the kitchen, where does the kitchen come from? And we can very proudly say our son built it.
So obviously we've got the kitchen, but Mark also did the utility for us and the boot room, so it's great. We've got everything matching, and we love it, don't we?
Yeah.
This, I was telling Tim when he was here last time, is where I used to sit and drink a coffee when the frame was up, but not all the walls and everything, and I just used to imagine what would it be like, didn't I?
Well, you've probably seen pictures of Sue sitting here in the sunrise, sunrise belting through there, but I think it's become more of the base than we ever imagined it would be, particularly when we now get the walls painted. It just helps the oak pop out. So the space and the light that we've created by having the bridge, as opposed to that could have easily been another bedroom.
Yeah.
Doing anything other than having the oak on show would be criminal in my mind.
So the stairs and the glass all here are amazing features, and I know you had a lot of involvement in all of this.
Yeah, a lot of involvement. Maybe that's where our project manager would say maybe I got maybe too involved with that, because the stairs were certainly a challenge. You said that with your own self-build. We loved the fact that not only did we get involved with the design of it, but we got to go and see them in production and work all the way through it. But even things like this piece of glass that we have, we went for one single sheet. I know you saw that when you came in, thinking, well, 2 or 3 pieces would be a lot easier to fit. I'm really pleased that we've got a single pane. Just looks lovely.
It's fantastic. Here we are in your master bedroom.
The number one thing that we wanted, again, throughout the house was light and space. For our old house, we were 1.5 stories, so we were forever kind of in the eaves. So we wanted this more than else, the vaulted ceilings, and that ceiling to floor, glass and views, and it's delivered on that. When Tim was here before, we didn't have...
I think that was going to be open plan.
Yeah, it was. This whole thing was bedroom and dressing room kind of all open.
Walk through, yeah.
But we've ended up boxing this area, not at the top, so the light still floods into there, but Sue's now got a walk-in wardrobe. Marcus builds another wardrobe on the outside for me, but Sue gets all the walk-in space. So it's evolved in as much as we've created another room within the room, but it still gives us a really spacious, light and airy bedroom, then into the dressing room, then into the ensuite.
So by 2025, all new homes have to have a renewable heating source, but I know that you put a lot of consideration into your heating and renewables during your build, right?
Yeah, it was a big thing for us. In our old house, we had oil boilers, plural, that were heating the house in different places, and with all the rising costs, and also just the whole ecological side of things, we were keen to go as sustainable as we could. So we've incorporated here an air source heat pump that just works wonders to keep the temperature nice and even all the time.
Rainwater harvester.
Rainwater harvesting. If we could only get some rainwater right now, that'd be lovely, but we have got a lovely rainwater harvesting. So we've got a lot of roof space you've seen outside, so all of that runoff comes down through beautiful copper guttering down into the ground and out to the tank, so that we can use that for watering the garden. We didn't go grey inside, I know that's an option.
Yeah.
One of the main things that we really enjoyed when we first moved in here, we went away on a well-deserved break and a good holiday, and I could watch on the app and see that for the first time we could turn all of our heating and everything off and go away.
Yeah, it was still lovely and warm.
There was snow outside, and I watched, and it dropped by less than 1 degree right across the house, even with trades coming in and out while we were away. That was beauty right there in my hand. I could see how it was working.
Obviously you've got encapsulation system, which is keeping the warmth in, but the air tightness as well, which is so important. And you've got in here the MVHR system, the mechanical ventilation heat recovery, and that recycles the air and distributes the warmth between the house as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, so, but even in here, we love the fact that we've got the island that we can cook on, but that's got a downdraft ventilation system that cleans any of the fumes or smell from cooking rather, and then kicks it out through the base plate. That then comes back up through the heat ventilation recovery system, and then the latent heat from cooking gets cleaned again and then reused around the house.
Aside from the envelope being very ecological, I know you've got a lot of ecological taste as well, haven't you?
We decided to go for the curtain fabric is made out of 100% recycled bottles.
No way.
We've got
That's crazy.
It doesn't feel like it, does it?
Believe it, but you've got faux fur everywhere. So.
Well, even the lights that you chose, we've gone English made wherever we could.
Yeah, and we even went to the factory of one of them.
Any element you could go and see, you went and saw.
Yeah,
I think that's a really nice touch for everyone who's building their own home, is to go and see the bits that they can go and see.
We're choosing every single element of the house. When you're doing a self-build, you get to select. That can be daunting for sure, but the fun was go off on a road trip and actually go and look at the factory that's making your stairs, or look who's making the lights or curtains.
Yeah.
It added to the whole experience for sure.
But you've also put in a lot of consideration for, potentially the future moving forward as well, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, so
office.
my office, for example,
Yeah.
so we've built really only 2 bedrooms upstairs. They're nice and spacious, both with en suites. The office actually has an en suite, so whether it's my knees that can't stand stairs or someone else in future, we've built it as a 3-bedroom house. So we've now got a full-on bedroom with an en suite, because we converted one of the garages also into a home gym. That could be a home office if someone wants it. So we've tried to look around, while we're building it, to look ahead and not just build for the here and now, but right now we've got it working.
Also the veranda area, we've got that ready with block and beam, just in case we felt this isn't big enough. And that's all set and ready in case in a couple of years' time we think actually we want to add an extra room. So we've already got the structure and we've got the floor ready.
Ready to go.
It surprised us, doesn't it, enormously, how with the open plan and with the oak and glass, it feels probably way bigger than it is. And everyone that's come around is surprised about the size of the house that we've ended up with on a plot that we didn't know we really had.
So here we are in your absolutely beautiful garden, but I know that this was a big part of your consideration at the planning stage as well, really, wasn't it?
From the outset, we I think put almost as much thought into landscaping as we did the actual frame and the house and how we'd live in it, because we love being outdoors whenever we can.
Yeah, we are outdoors people.
So we've looked at several different areas around where we could get a sunbathing area, where we might sit with morning coffee. And
we were doing that during the build as well. We thought, let's look where the sunshine is, where the shade is. So we've created quite a few areas to sit, haven't we, rather than just one typical patio.
We'd put a lot of thought into that at the early planning stages, and then worked with a really great landscaper to bring that to reality.
In another one of the videos, we'll be covering your landscaping and how that evolved in the design and how you went about it.
Yeah, so it's a really key thing, I think, when people are thinking about self-build. The last thing we wanted to do was to live on a building site after we'd finished. So yeah, that would be helpful to people to understand the pros and cons of what you should do to plan it out early on. That'd be a good listen.
Steve, Suzanne, Harry, thank you so much for showing me around your beautiful home. It's been absolutely amazing. With all these videos, we always conclude with some top tips for our viewers. What would be your top tips for our self-builders?
One of my top tips was living next door or nearby, you know, or on site, as close as possible, because you really don't want to miss anything. It's so exciting, but also, you know, you don't want anything to go wrong. Things do sometimes go a little bit wrong, but if you're able to be contactable, then, you know, you can sort it out straight away.
I think also the other thing that you was talking about was having time to visit the site, even when the trades are not there, so you can reflect on how it's all working, and so that you don't miss any major milestones, but also if you're there when trades aren't, you get to kind of live it almost in your mind's eye how it's going to be, and that we found helpful and did make a few changes to layouts on things, not structurally but within the gardens.
And it's hard to see that when you've got builders everywhere and things going on. You can't really concentrate on how you're going to live in it, can you?
So the tips: visit site and be on site as often as you can, really, not miss a moment. One of the other things that definitely you'd offer again as a tip, I guess, is about the visits to the various trades and craftsmen. You found that very helpful. Yeah,
that was really helpful to get things right, and also enjoyable as well. And you know, lots of things in the house, we've got a story to it now, haven't we? Which for us, we love.
The other thing I would definitely add, Charlie, is to make sure that whatever you do, save some budget for landscaping, because we didn't want to be living on a building site when it was all done. So just to enjoy all the internals, we wanted to be able to walk outside and enjoy the garden. So I would say a definite top tip is save some budget for landscaping so that you can actually finish the property properly.
So to summarise then, so be on site and also come when the trades aren't here.
Yeah.
Go and visit as much as you can, all the different elements. And finally, obviously, budgeting, ensuring that you have a bit left in for the landscaping.
A bit and some.
Once again, thank you so much for having me. It's been an amazing journey again, it's so amazing to be able to share with our viewers of when you were building and in the shell to now it finished, and to seeing it all come together in your beautiful dream home. I hope you've enjoyed today's video going through Steve and Suzanne's self-build home. If you have any questions, please leave a comment. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and follow all our other social media platforms.